So this is part 2. If you never watched part 1, go watch it. We're on question 17. In the market for bed and breakfast accommodation, which of the following variables would increase demand? Ceteris paribus. So for hotels, right, what will increase demand? It'll be E. Why? A drop in airfares, which is a complement. Now, what is a complement? I told you before, a complement goes with the good. For example, cold drink and a burger. When people buy cold drink, they'll buy burger, so they are complements. So because they're complements, if one increases, the other increase. If one decreases, the other decrease. So if the drop in price of airfare is a complement, that means what? If the drop in airfares, so the airfares are going down, so obviously this will increase demand for bread and breakfast, right? Because that's good. The airfares are going down, so now more people are traveling all throughout the world. So obviously the demand for bed and breakfast, when these people travel now because fares are cheaper, they will look for places to go on a holiday. So the demand for this will increase, therefore it's E. 18. If the cross price of elasticity of demand between two goods is negative, then it's A, right? I made a mistake. I said D because, to be honest, I never ever know this, right? So the answer will be the two goods that are complements. So goods that are complements go with each other. So when they are negative, then they are complements. That's just a definition, right? You just have to know that, right? I actually have to learn this also. So it's A. Okay, so whenever you get this, just know you're going to use equating when you're doing this, right? So you need to work out what is, let's see, the equilibrium quantity. So you're looking for Q. Now just know QD and QS is just Q, right? So like Q is equal to that, Q is equal to that. So to find Q, there are two steps. The first step is take 20 minus 2p and make it equal to 5 plus 3p. Solve for P. Solve for P. You get P to be, I think P to be 3 if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, 3. Once you get P as 3, they want Q. So in any equation, substitute 3 in P. So like 20 times 2 times 3, which is 6. 20 minus 6 is 14. So that's how you get it. So that's A. If OPEC, which is a big oil production company, increase the total revenue, they'll know the demand of oil is. So you can just ignore this, right? You just need to know what is the demand of oil. Now, take this down. Take note of it. Petrol, oil, always will be inelastic. Anything else will be elastic, right? Just remember, inelastic, it means that basically like petrol and oil, if they decrease prices, it won't really affect us much, or they increase it. Because if they increase petrol and make it expensive, we still have to buy petrol because we need it. They are monopolies, right? They own petrols. If they want to make it 100 rand a liter, we just have to buy it for 100 rand a liter. We can't say anything because we need petrol. So it's inelastic. If the price of sunscreen increase by 10 and elasticity of supply is 0.5, so what you want to do with this, obviously solve for X equation, right? So 0.5, so you know the elasticity calculation, the answer will be 0.5. Now, always it will be the percent. Now, I did a video on how to calculate elasticity, so if this is confusing, watch it. It will be quantity over price. So they tell you 10%, the price is 10%. So the price down will be a 10. So I don't know the quantity supplied, so that's X. So 0.5 times 10, that is 5. And it's positive 5. So it's positive 5, it means increased by 5, right? So that's C. If it's negative, it will be decreased. Okay, so if the own price of elasticity equals 0.3 in absolute value, absolute value just means the positive, right? Price will result in 6. Okay, but you know 6% quantity. So I told you, quantity over price, just put 6. The reason why we're not putting percentages is that it cancels out at the end of the day, so we don't need to do it. Now to work this out, you solve for X, will get a 20%, right? Okay, so for this one, so it is not a consequence of a pricing. Okay, so if there's a price ceiling at 5 rand, so over here, what does this mean? A price ceiling basically means everyone must operate down over here. Okay, That means no one is allowed to charge anything above the price ceiling. No one is allowed to charge rent 6 rand, 7 rand, 8 rand. No, everyone must charge rent 5 rand and below. Okay, sorry, this phrase is bread. So nobody is allowed to buy bread more than 5 rand. Everyone, all the shops must sell the bread less than 5 rand, price ceiling. So what's else happen? Now, what is incorrect is not, it'll be A. Because the planned consumption of buys and lows corresponds to the planned production by salaries of lower pay. That's false. Because the demand of your customers, they're saying they want 300 breads. The suppliers, they are only producing 200. So they're not both the same. So they correspond with planned production by, no, they're not both the same, right? So the answer is A. Now, a price floor. Now, what is a price floor? A price floor is just as a price ceiling, but a price floor is the minimum amount they're allowed to sell. So if the price floor is 5 rand, they must sell the bread for 5 rand and above. Okay, they can't sell it for 4 and 3, no, 5 rand and above. The market equilibrium is here. What it means? Right now the market is operating over here. So customers are paying 6 rand, suppliers are willing to give 250 breads at 6 rand, they're happy at 6 rand. So if the price ceiling is 5 rand, the minimum they're allowed to sell, they're keeping to that law, so it won't affect them. Has no effect. Answer is C. Number 25. What is the fun we're not true about theory of utility? Theory of utility is same as marginal utility. The answer will be B. Why? As more of a good is consumed, the decrease in marginal utility from one good means that the total utility from the good also decreases. Now this is not true, right? Because total utility will never decrease, okay? Because at the end of the day, whatever your marginal utility is, you're adding it to total utility. So let's say your marginal utility is, okay, I'm going to show you very, very quick, right? 12, 10, and 8. Now to make this is the utility. Now I'm doing the total utility on this side. So it's 12, 22, and 30. Now can you see what's happening? Although your marginal utility is going down, your total utility is still increasing. So the answer will be A. So it'll never decrease. So although this is decreasing over here, this doesn't decrease. It continues increasing. Now 26 is asking over here, the curves that diminish. Okay, so which curve best produces marginal utility? So straight away I said C, which is correct, because as you get to total utility, you start maximizing. So if you look over here, the difference over here will become very small. So okay, so all you need to know is this, right? There's like a limit. So you know in maths you do limits. Total utility will always have a limit. So you cannot go to a certain amount. So let's say the maximum utility over here is 32. So that's like an asymptote. So you know in maths how you get that, it goes like this. So same. So look for the graph where you can see that, right? Where it's approaching a number but never touches it. So the answer will be C. Because as at the end, right, you diminish your utility, you don't get much satisfaction. So your total utility will be like, see, over here will be like 1, 2, 7, 9, 13. But as you get closer, it might get 13.2, 13.3, 13.4. Because all those small utilities are getting added to this total utility. But the problem is, it's such small amounts. So although at first it was so much utility, at the end of the day now when you're consuming it, you're getting very little utility. So you're not increasing your total utility. So it'll give you that shape, the flatter shape. So that is why it'll be C, because it's flatter, right? It won't be constant, right? You know. And it won't be this. 27, right? Now you have to draw up the marginal utility column as I did over here, because this is total utility. Marginal utility, you define the difference. So difference from 0 to 250 is 250, different from 2 to 4, 31, 80, and you go like that, right? Now, which one over here? Okay, so in the above shows the total utility from DVDs and CDs. What is the marginal utility of the second DVD? Second DVD marginal utility is 180, so that's the answer B. Okay, so you have 110 rand to spend, right? The price of DVDs is 10 rand, price of CDs is 20 rand. Keep in mind you have 110 rand to spend. So you basically, I did the working over here, right? So you look only at the marginal utility per price. Oh wait, is it marginal utility per price? Yeah, marginal utility per price. So like you take 250 over price, which is 10 rand, and you get 25. 180 over 10 rand, which is 18. That over 10 rand is 15. Same thing with this. Once you get this, this is where you do your choosing, right? So to choose, the first one is going to be the highest. So I'm going to pick DVDs. So split this side, all this in the right is CDs, all this DVDs. 25 will be my first pick. Second pick will be 20, because that's the second highest. Third highest will be that. Fourth that. Fifth that. Sixth that. 12 is also, yeah. And then 7 is last is that. If you total up it, right, remember, DVDs are 10 rand each. 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 rand. CDs are 20 rand. So 40 times 60. No, actually 10, 20, 30, 40. 40 times 40 plus 60. Wait. The answer I got right is 5 DVDs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, I forgot to look at this number also. 6. So that's also in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 10 is 50 rand. 50 rand plus 60 rand. That's 110. I maximized my thing. And then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 DVDs. 1, 2, 3. 3 CDs. 5 DVDs and 3 CDs. So that's correct. If you don't know how I did this in a lot of details under the, I think it's one of the tutorials I did it. Yeah, part 4. Yeah, I did it in detail. 29. The reason why water is more valuable than diamonds, despite diamonds being more higher in the marketplace. Okay, so the reason why diamonds are more valuable than water, although water is like very valuable to us, is because water has a much higher consumer surplus. Now, just remember this, what is consumer surplus? It's basically saying that consumer surplus is basically the discount consumers can get on products. Now, this is not a true definition, but for you to understand, I'm going to say this. So it's like a discount you can get on products. On water, right? You can get, if you go to a shop, they can have a lot of discounts on water. They can have sale on water, right? 10 rand, they might give sale for 6 rand, specials on waters, discounts, consumer surplus are all that. Surplus are benefits. But for diamonds, you don't see that there's a sale on diamonds. And if there is a sale on diamonds, it's still expensive, right? Diamonds, if it's going for 10,000, they're not going to be, hey, sale for diamonds was 10,000, now 1,000. Never. But water, they can do that. They can say like water is 15 rand. They can even go half the price, 750. But diamonds, they can't do that, right? So the discounts on diamonds are low. You can't give consumers a lot of discounts on that. 30. The steeper the slope of the production curve, the larger the marginal product of labor. That is true, right? So the marginal, the total product is the amount of products, let's say a specific laborer does in a business. If you have one laborer, you might make 5 products. You have 2 laborers, they both might make 10 products. So that product column is called the total product, right? So if it's steeper, that means they're producing more products, right? So larger is the marginal product of labor. So the marginal product of labor is the additional product you get from putting one more laborer. So from one worker, if you're getting 3 products, if you put 2 workers, you might get 10 products. So, your products are just getting higher and higher. So think of that. So it's a steep curve. Number 31, the diminishing marginal return sets in at when. So obviously you need to know you need to do the marginal product column. So this is the marginal product column. So when I do it, you find the difference. 3 minus 0 is 3. Then you continue. This will always be 0, because if 2 are 0, then this will be 0. Now it increases 0, 3, 5, but now it's 4. So when does it decrease? When you add a third labor, so the answer will be C. When a factory is operating in a short run, it cannot adjust the quantity of fixed inputs. So remember, when in the short run, only one is fixed. So you can't fix inputs, not many, only one. Now, I'm going to do a part 3 because I'm approaching the 15-minute mark.